no veas, a Sevilla. Y al último que cuando ya salió la bien de regla.
It is Tuesday on Raid Shadow Legends, but you knew that. Now, today is going to be live arena, but not as I normally do it. Previously, I just speed the battles up, cut out some of the drafts, put something over it that won't get me in trouble, copyright laws, and work with it from there. But that was getting a bit boring last season. You weren't watching it, no one was, I can understand. I was just picking the same champions over and over, dying to the same things. It wasn't great for me, it wasn't great for you, might be good for my opponents. But this season, it's somewhat all change. We have brand new things to work with, and I'm going to show them. The first of which is going to be Hilvi the Rhyme Called. Hilvi has been said to be the free-to-play Star Sage Theodosia, and they're not overly wrong in terms of herself having a buff strip with CC and revive that also plays as block damage, which is better defense than a lot of other things. Red affinity, so many champions weak hit on her, and she has a Soulmark Crystal. Once per round, when an ally is killed, wherever it has a 50%, it's at 5 stars, that's a 90% chance of an instant turn. So I can either instantly go into revive or buff strip with freeze. And then she's in 9-piece Mercurial, because this is kind of necessary nowadays. Mercurial in general is a necessary evil. There's too much ignore stone skin, ignore block debuffs, ignore shield, etc. So having the complete, I don't take damage from anything is what you have to use. And yes, this also means you're immune to other effects that don't deal damage, including Polymorph. And then the other one that I have is Predator. Now, I didn't buy the Predator pass. I didn't pull him either. I had an interesting conversation in another server regarding how currencies are different between regions. And as reference, I showed them that the Predator pass is £40 to me, and they were so entirely taken aback by how I regularly play this game, or semi-regularly, and I didn't have it, that upon realizing that, yes, I'm poor, they funded it for me, so I bought it, and now I have Predator. Wand of Submission, Lightning Cage, I could have Life Harvest, but I think I'll just have that. But my build for him is 6-piece Merciless for the 35% ignore defense, and then 2 pieces of reaction. Because, honestly, if he's getting 1 shot to the start through 50% evade and 2 pieces of reaction, I was meant to lose that game anyway. But Predator, right now, I'd say is the least fair champion in the game. Not only does he hit very hard between his skills, this double hit that I'll put multipliers on screen, and this has permadeath with Hunter's Gaze. Hunter's Gaze basically means ignore every form of damage mitigation in the game apart from the van stats or death replacement effects like Nace passive, Star Sage passive. But once he gets kills, then he just starts dodging everything, counter-attacking with this. It gets out of hand really quickly. And then Wand of Submission, because even if he dodges the CC effect, it still counts as him trying to place it on him, so it throws it back at them. As for the rest, well, the rest will be as you'd expect. So let's get started. Please stop. Probably gonna play 10 games, I'd say. For the most part, it's gonna be a pretty similar draft. Also, let me move this over here. We haven't played a whole lot because I just have not really had time. So our first pick is not going to be Marias anymore, but Fabian. Fabian is one of the few things that Predator can struggle into because he's a green lockout. And Marias has an issue for myself. Okay, I guess I need to play 9 games. Has an issue for myself where I can't really defend him. Like, sure, he has 4-piece stone skin, but that's kind of all he has, and he can still be locked out. There's things that go right through stone skin, bombs, Gizmac, niche champions like A-Lil or something I can just kill him right through it. So I find it's almost easier for me to go against Marias and just ban him if I think he'd be an issue. Obviously, if I do pick him first, so what we're going to take here is, we're not going to take Anomaly, we're not going to take Marias, we're going to just immediately take Nace and Predator. Because Nace for Shadow Thief is still the most absurd mythical in the game. I know people have been saying our Neighbor White is like that, but really, he's kind of stoppable right now. Everything he does bounces off block debuffs, stone skin, total guard, etc. Who are we taking? I'm going to take Hilvy here because Hilvy is someone I'm very confident in with. And then I'm going to take, you know what, tell you what, Anomaly and Donatello, because we're going to be fighting into a Fabian most likely, and having this against 2 lockouts is going to be very good, and Anomaly fights 1 lockout anyway, because the lockout is base form, and yeah. But Marias does have a good matchup into Mercurial if he goes first, because he will place all 3 hits, that takes a 3 stacks, and then you're vulnerable, and you don't like reaction or anything else past that. Okay, Santa Noel, you know what, yeah, I'm still taking Hilvy. Who am I most worried about here? Tell you what, let's just get rid of Mariah, shall we? Because Santa's not the best carry in the world, but this can be a bit of an annoyer, so to speak. And all of these are 35% HP regardless, so we'll just go with Anomaly. Now, there's a high chance that we do get locked out. It's a 6-star Warlord. He's probably got enough accuracy, but we can fight for regardless. And Predator can dodge lockouts. But this might take a little bit of time. Obviously, Santa is in 9 prot. Okay, resisted on Donatello. Resisted again. Okay, so now we have a way to get our cooldowns back. Okay, it is protected, but let's see how this goes. So, keeping my cooldowns back, and I believe that Predator might just straight be able to kill Santa right through his thing. However, now he has block debuff, so I can't really do that. But I can at least put damage on them, and Nace A1 ignores block damage, ignores unkillable, ignores shield, so just blink him right through it, and we can work from there. However, Predator now has not killed anyone, so he now has no evade, which is a bit unfortunate, but I think we can work with it. Okay, we did not wand the... Who wandered, actually? Because she got frozen off someone, so... It might have been Anomaly, because these are already all full frozen. However, it's a... Okay, wand again, so... And Ace isn't true feared. Yeah, it's wand, and then... Sadly, we can't kill him, so we'll just blink him down. And she has used her revive, which I feel is a bit of a mistake to use it for CC when there's 2 ways to... Let's take these off. When there's 2 ways for me to go right through Santa's unkillable, but work from there. And now this is actually looking a bit bad. Sure, you have this again, but at this point... Unfortunately, my friend, Anomaly, goodbye. I mean, it's a interesting strategy, but I feel like this is very redundant to have 2 lockout effects. Like, if I'm going to deal with one, I'm going to deal with the other. So prior to that game, did pretty much nothing. He put damage on them with A2 Smart Cloak, Smart Disc, but that was kind of about it. But there are going to be some games where he just doesn't do a whole lot because he will fail his 50% evade at the start. Now, Predator is a champion where fundamentally I'm opposed to him existing in the game because collabs, limited time champions in general, should not be at that power level. Like, right now, in terms of the assassins, I'm much more content with those because they are more niche or missable. Like, sure, Cassandra is the only champion in the Argonauts faction right now, but Argonauts Faction Wars is not going to be open for a considerable amount of time, and by then there will be other options, all of which probably better than her. Okay, so again, we're dealing with a Lockout and Marias, but I'm not overly worried, so I'm going to take Hilvi, and I'm going to take Donatello as my way to deal with Crixia Lockout. It is a 0-star Crixia, so we're probably going to be banning Marias again. Like, sure, I know it's the thing of, okay, you're not picking Marias, but then you're banning him. What's the that? And then Frolny. Frolny is a mythical who I think still needs a bit of a buff. They got very lazy with his previous one, and they did not get lazy with the Garrel buff. They did everything they could to make that champion relevant, apart from changing her affinity. I think them changing the affinity is a bit outlandish, but Garrel is absolutely a threat now and should not be underestimated whatsoever. So anyway, going back to my draft, right now I'm sticking to some comfort picks, so the Fabian, the Native Predator, the Donatello as anti-lockout, and then the Hilvi as a, well, bootleg Star Sage. Not a whole lot I can do here, but if I fear her, I can break a pinpoint stack. No. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so this Crixia doesn't have enough accuracy, or it was a 3% in a way. And now we'll see what Frolny does. Although Carnage is going to go first, and I think he might just try and brick my entire team, which is possible. A3 here. Yep, that's fine. And one of submission, and we don't have any CDs, so I also... Oh, we're block passive in a way. So what, let's just try and jump on him. No, it does not do enough. It's Support Carnage, you can tell because he has over 60,000 HP. Support Carnage is a champion that we are seeing nowadays, along with Support Marias and Support Lazarius, where it's hard to make them effectively work as a nuker, so people are just going for their debuffs with speed and working from there, and this is now looking a little bit bad, so let's just try and do this. He's going to counter attack and pass. He can't pass anything on to us, but I can just alt form, and this is where we say goodbye, most likely. Like, he can evade the debuff spread, putting block passives on him. Huh, that's strange. He just chose not to. Okay. Right, next game. Obviously, the issue with having something like Donatello as an anti-lockout is I am coin flipping things on him just not getting locked out, because if that happens then he doesn't really help that much, but yeah. My odds were worse if I was going against Marias from the Carnage Fair, because his triple hitter goes right through Hilvi's Mercurials, but we're going to keep picking the same two to start with because I am significantly worse into either of these than I am sort of having them. Okay, so again, Lazarius I mentioned before, he does have banner, so this could be Support Lazarius, and it could be two nukers, but till then, Tell you what, let's take Marias this time, because all these here aren't great into him, and then I will take Hilvi. The other thing about Hilvi is that she does have a couple of other bad matchups that I don't like mentioning too much. One of them is Marishka, because her freeze also plays as HP burn, so you're going to be feeding them a block back damage more than you'd like, but you can just control that depending on who you pick, who has ways to ignore block damage. And last I will... Tell you what, where is she? I'll take Raglan. Raglan is also in 9-piece Mercurial now. I didn't mention her because I already had her built, but she is very good here. And I will get rid of the Anomaly, because he overall has the best matchups into all of us. And we'll have the HP lead. Yeah, this is defense, HP, HP. And we'll work from there. Because Gizmak is going to struggle a bit in terms of placing HP burns in this team if there's too many Kuro revivers. And Fabian also will not overly help that much. We're going to take one stack off, counter-attack there. The HP burn is still placed because what happens here is it's not an effect of a skill, it's an effect of a passive. And that did the least damage I have ever seen of anyone in the entire world. And here I can just do this. And yeah, that's the end of that game. A valiant effort, I'd say, but actually, no. If you're big in Gizmak, you deserve that sort of thing happening to you. So already you're probably noticing I've got into a bit of a pattern here, but I like to feel that I am dice rolling games less than I was before in terms of Stone Skin RNG, you know, for 50-50 on self-protection, instead changing to Total Guard, and now I've got to a point where champions like this month's Void Legendary Solinar kind of flopped because, well, he can't deal with Total Guard very well. Sure, his A1 is AoE, so he's going to break through stacks eventually, but both his A3 and A2 are single target hits, which, if revivers are defended like that, like sure, he's going to break that stack, but they're going to just get it back afterwards, and it's not entirely guaranteed he's going to live that long to do so, because he does have some kind of self-defense, I believe, in his passive, or it might just be with the fusion partner. Regarding the fusion, I have skipped that because I'm not going to use her. She doesn't do what I want on my account, and in terms of Dark Elves Faction Wars, which is still something I am inexplicably stuck on, she doesn't help me there. I'm going to do place Weaken on my boss with A1, that turns to Strengthen. Try and place Decreased Defense, becomes Increased Defense. It's like, she revives, but that's really all she does, and I know there's a thing regarding just, okay, use Xenomorph Regenerator. I tried that. I still couldn't win. So either I'm doing something very, very wrong. Okay, Star Sage Mesomel, I am not really worried about these. Tell you what I'll do. What is good into all of this all at once? And now who I'm gonna pick here. I'm gonna take Hilvy and Cheshire Cat. Cheshire Cat is still one of my favourites at our base. I'll get rid of Marias again. I'm not too worried about Mesomel. Okay, no Nace, that's fine. No Nace, 3 penalty. But my opponent might not understand the interaction too much here. Because, sure, Mesomel A2 ignores Stone Skin, defense, etc., but it does not ignore block damage, so if she tries to do it the first time to take out Cheshire Cat, he's going to block it. Okay, Anomaly stops forms immediately. He's going to go for the, I don't know what he's going to try to go for. Okay, for Praetor. And I did not give it instant turn, so that is a 90% chance, and I failed it. Does it matter? I feel like the answer is probably not. Okay, Mesomel has the alt form here now. She can't go for the permadeath. Star Stage here on breaking Mercurial stack is a concern. Or am I just dead? Nope, I'm fine. And I would like my team back, please, with block damage. And she has feared herself from one of my multiple ones. Again, Predator has wand, XTD has wand. Fabian has Temporal Stagnator, for anyone wondering. But this here is not that helpful. No, I don't think so. I can't take the Stone Skin Alpha by doing this, but I can fear the team or try to. And now we do this. We have our block damage still, and who is next on the team? And on his first turn order, I can't target Star Sage, so I just do this, die to reflect, and sure, I can pick him back up again unless you're locked out. But I still have. Actually, can I take these off? Yes, I can. And okay, he's very tanky. Oh, my Prayer just missed Helmet Smasher both times. So I don't have any stacks. That is fine. Do you have your revive? You don't. Killing you down. Does revive come back here? Should do. Yep, okay. This is looking a little bit bad, I'd say, but might be able to manage it. Actually, no. Anomaly goes first, unless he fails a fear check. Fail it. Fail it. No, of course that happens, okay. Here's my other one. Cheshire, okay. I'll keep going until Cheshire's permed, but this one's looking kind of bad now. Suppose I should just permadeath our base with the A3, but try to go for double hit there to clear out the lock you out again. I mean, Cheshire does still have a chance to clear this out, but it's going to be a bit dodgy. Oh, and never mind. Cleansed it, and next game. Okay. Yeah, my mistake there was just not using a permadeath on the base. Sure, 20% chance of evade is still not high, but it's better than 0, so there is that. Right first, so in that case I will take... Who am I going to take here? So let's do this a different way. I'm going to take Anomaly and Fabian off here immediately. Anomaly is very important as the first pick more than anything else because any AoE skill will instead clear him out first. Okay, Commodus, Scythia, I'm not worried about those. Gonna be Praetor and Nace again. Both of these are the HP champions in the game who can see their entire team get one shot and then still have a very considerable chance of winning game afterwards, just have hard 1v4ing. I've seen it from Nace, I've seen it from Praetor. I can do both if need be. It's very difficult to go against. Anomaly's decent against them. Gallius is, I want to say Garrel is in a way. And then last we're going to take Hilvi again because Hilvi is my most reliable reviver. And I will get rid of the Marias because Commodus does not want to see Hilvi at all. And can potentially bomb Praetor, although it's going to be an affinity chance. And also, you know what, tell you what, I need a HP here. If I have a HP, then Commodus bombs won't instant detonate on me, on my HP nukers. 19 speed's not going to do a whole lot for me. But yeah, he has to hit through the evade, and then strong hit. Well, not weak hits, you know, you get what I mean, right? Anomaly is probably dead on rewards here. Also, that Siphi is 520 speed. Just saying, not like it matters. But this is all waiting on what happens with the Commodus. However, there is no lockout, so he is vulnerable to... I don't know about that one. No one here has ward stacks, do they? So, okay, let's do that. I feel like this Commodus goes again before either of these, but I might be okay. No, Commodus goes again. Right, okay. Show him what you're worth. Interesting. It's fine. We still have a chance to win this. The bombs are 2 turns, so of course he gets that. Still 2 turns. Okay. I haven't taken a turn yet, so I've got 50% evade. Weaken. Okay. Keep doing so. Trying to plink down the Nace, who is kind of bricked. He's not going to do anything this game. It's all on the Praetor. However, he's still a bit of a threat. Nope. Dodge. And now, there we go. Our entire team gets one shot apart from Praetor. It doesn't even matter. He strong affinity for Commodus. Commodus can't detonate bombs on him because his HP stat is higher, and then he just sits there like, yeah, sure. You took my turn meter. I'm not stunned. I'm not logged out. Moment I take a turn, your MF life ends in 30 minutes from now. Right, next game. Anyway, in total, we're going to do in 10 games here because I dropped a couple from my own stupidity. And unless we somehow keep losing. But, I mean, given how they've picked Arbiter first, I think we should be fine to just take both of these, take them off the table. They can have Marius if they want, and we can work from there. Because Marius and normally Fabian are the champions that everyone has. If they're not taken off the table by yourself, you can take by someone else. Okay, Armand's not worried about that. Take Praetor Anomaly once again. Regarding Praetor, I did dismantle my White King Narcissus for Live Arena. I've just not picked him at all. Like, he struggles too much nowadays. He ignores shield, but it's either you need ways to kill things that otherwise don't die if they're killed, or ways to ignore block damage and killable, and he can't do that, and his form of self-defense is also not great. Okay, Hefrak Siegfried, not worried. Take Hilvi, ban Marius. We have 3 1s on 3 carries, so we're not worried about our mans. There's no lockout, no CC past that. If we lose this, then either we are very, very stupid, or we were just not meant to win the game. Okay, I'll take the speed lead this time, because might mean this ends about 10 seconds earlier. Hefrak is an interesting spice pick, but he only works in a time when people don't have protection, and everyone always has a way to protect themselves nowadays. You need it, even if you're 540 speed, because when you go against something like Calvalax, Volcanos, Nell, etc., it can still end badly no matter how many turns you're taking. So it's that kind of game. Raid in general is both very, very badly balanced and also very finely balanced. Okay, I'd like to take these, thank you. Wand of Submission doesn't matter because we can't be CC'd while under the Mercurial. That's fine. -1 Nace. Let's just bring him back, shall we? After all, Siegfried can't fight through this. And now I'd like to show you an interaction that I like. So you think Siegfried has passive, right? Right? Nope, he's gone. So is my Nace again, but it doesn't matter. And try and do this, cut your turn meter. He's already used his A2, so he can't damage anything anymore. And I'll just freeze you again. Again, can't be wondered, and the Praetor Smart Disc claims 3 more victims. Next game. I'll be honest, I've never actually watched Alien vs Predator, apart from... Actually, I've seen part 2. The one that had Arnold Schwarzenegger, where at a point where he had to go through the mud and otherwise thought he couldn't escape a predator. However, the mud was so cold that it disabled the predator's heat vision, so he couldn't see him. Looked around, nope, and Arnold afterwards discovered, oh wait, this worked as a protective cloak this time around. And then the other one, where I can't remember exactly what happened, but basically the Yacha, I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyone who's actually watched this, please correct me. Took in a human under their wing, and by the end of it, they considered her an honorary one of their own and granted her a combi stick of her own that she could then throw at a Siegfried to blow right through his passive and permadeath that guy, because, let's be honest, Siegfried is one of those matchup fish champions that everyone's a little bit tired of seeing. Okay, Nishak and Siffy, not worried about the Siffy. I'll probably just ban Marius again, because Marius is the hardest one to go into for Hilvi. And that point it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to bomb her. Especially because if someone passed on at some point. And Odin is also someone who is terrible into Mercurial. His A2 straight up does not work against that, because it blocks all negative effects apart from damage, and his A3 would try and steal the buffs, then attack them. However, he steals no buffs because Mercurial, then hits them, eats a stack. Also, Odin into Nace Predator is not fantastic, I want to say, especially when the block damage is generally not protected. Now this Odin is in 2-piece Mercurial, so you can tell he's just not gotten a correct accessory piece from Grim Forest to do so. So he's working with what he has. Like, sure, this damage takes a stack off me, however, 2 stacks, Feral, I can dodge. Anomaly is the only one here who is vulnerable. So yep, Predator's dodged it. Go on. And here, I might just let Anomaly pass on and take all these buffs off. Not worried about Polymorph at all because of a total guard stack. I get another start of my turn. And again, if they get block damage, Hunter's Gaze goes right through it, so I can permadeath someone who isn't under block debuffs and work from there. That's fine. Go on, how are we doing this? Okay, going to outform me. Okay, I'll just block damage for now. And actually, no, this is... Anyone here under not protected block debuffs? No, so I guess I just have to do this. Right, that is not great. And I can't permadeath anyone, so... In fact, I can't do anything here, can I? Who can I hit then? I mean, you're frozen for a turn, so you're a little bit stuck. I'll just hit Sify. So I have a gemstone on him, Energy Expansion. Every time he's healed, he gains 1% max HP, and that works for any kind of lifesteal effect as well. So it means he hits very slightly harder over time. Okay, my Nace is frozen. See if I care. And let's see, who's next in this team? I don't want to do that right now. Okay, I'll just do this. Odin can collect one of these 2 that he wants. However, if he kills someone, my Soulmore Crystal's going to come in, and on a 9% chance, and I should be able to then turn things around. Alright, how are we doing this, buddy? Yep. Okay, Soulmore Crystal, revive them, block damage. Those poisons don't matter anymore, and now they're vulnerable. Well, more vulnerable than they were before anyway. These poisons are 1 turn. Has this been 9 turns? It hasn't, okay. I wasn't keeping track of turns, so I'm going to do that here. I know it's smarter to HP swap into permadeath, but I lost count, I wasn't paying attention. That's my fault, and I'll try and do better. Nope. You know what? Let's take these off. And, oh, the game is over. Okay. I was not keeping track of turn counts very well there. I don't like counting exercises like that. I really think that there should be a visual indicator for how many turns have been taken by the champions relevant. So, Sanguine Maria, Odin, Queen of Hearts, etc. in terms of when they're due their next enhanced effect, but they don't seem to add it. In fact, they're supposed to add that thing regarding relics that shows what I have at the start, but now all we see is the one that they do have as it resolves, and past that is guesswork. Although, at least unlike some, I don't see my Armans get wandered, and then immediately begin thinking that then the Armahei had aspects, which is going to be low-hanging fruit that I'm going to tease that particular individual about for quite some time now. Okay, their opponent here is AFK, so I can pick whatever I want. Unless it is going to be the resist strategy, which I don't think it is. It's just a very high resist 9-piece Brimstone PvE Androck. Androck is also someone who was a bit weird at first. They have buffed him, but he's still not really a PvP champion, I'd say. He's a bit of a spice pick if you use him alongside, like, say, Bayek from the Assassin's Creed collab, but again, that is really something where it's more a knowledge check to someone who lacks critical information. They don't know than an actual viable strategy. Especially if there's any skills that force crits or ways to force critical hits, goes right through Bayek passive. Like Rotos of Death Dealer. Again, to that very one specific individual. I mean, he plays his own game sometime. Okay, so this one really is going to just be against AFK. I'm going to just pick as normal in general, but yeah, this is at least now we know who has the highest power in his account. Anyone else who we'd possibly take that I can deny? Now let's just take the usual, shall we? This has become the Fabian, Nace, Predator, Hilvy show, hasn't it? If I had a greater variety of champions, would I be picking them? I would. I don't, because I like these ones the most of all. Because it means I win the most. Yeah? Okay. Alright, so in another 36 seconds. Fajirad alongside Throlny are both of the buff mythicals that they got later regarding buffing. Fajirad base form stealing off attack when his alt form is HP is kind of questionable. Okay, he's picked both of those. And I'm really not worried about any of these red borders. I'll deal with one gold border instead. If one they got a bit lazy regarding, they increased damage multipliers a bit. Overall gave a couple little bits of extra polishing, but they didn't really change the mythical that much. Same with Throlny. Throlny, in my opinion, just needs a complete rework. Having your base form be the carry form is fine if you're someone like Siegfried, where the entire thing is he can't outform on demand and his base form has the highest power budgeting. Okay, so he throws both of those, and there is no cleanse on this team. He places increase resistance, etc., but he can't cleanse. And you should have it so his tank form is first, and his carry form is second, just so he fights better into lockout, because that's his main issue right now. Okay, we're going to go right into Androck alt, and okay, who can we deal with here? Tell you what, let's just take you off the table right away. You're gone. Next. Huh? What happened? Oh, for Dread passive. I completely forgot about that. That is entirely my fault. I forgot what the Dread passive did. I wonder why I got frozen, but okay, am I trolling here? What's happening? Oh dear me, I was so caught up in that I wasn't paying attention. Okay, and now I need to do this to not die to Siegfried. You know what I'm gonna do? I don't want to just feed him his passive to reset the fight, so, but yeah. For Dread passive is whenever a debuff is placed on an ally, has a chance to freeze that champions that happens. But for Lizardman and anyone else from the Galleon Pact, that's 100% chance, can't be blocked, can't be resisted, and that's what happened with prior to that, which is completely my fault. Okay, -1 Hilvy, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, that's fine, we've got a stack, and now, because it's just Carnage, we're going to try and permadeath here. Sure, he'll come back now, but the only one he can pick up is Carnage. And I'm not worried about that. I'll stun you or provoke, that's fine as well. The seal doesn't matter. You're stuck for a turn. You're stuck for a turn. And this time I missed Talon Smasher. Game is hard. Game is harder than it should ever be. However, Hunter's Gaze means that it's not just for that champion, it's for anyone at all. And now we should be fine. 1 second. This has been like this the entire time, hasn't it? Is that better? That's better, okay, right. Because what's happening here is I am trying to look through the top of the screen to because of like if the glasses are a little bit steamed up because it's there, so I need to kind of like look over the top like that to see properly on the screen through the thing at the bottom here like that. It's hard to explain, but that's why I'm doing that, and as a result my thing's going whoop right out of face cam like that, and you're wondering if it's a chin cam instead or something like that. I mean, it's not. I'm not that fat. In fact, I'm not fat at all. Stop saying I'm fat. Actually, no one's saying I'm fat, I'm schizophrenic. Okay. Alright, last game of the day. We are, what now, 7-2 so far. I will just take 5 off the bat here because I really don't have anything else that I think is a more globally, universally good first pick and can work from there. If it's like Marias Anomaly, we might take Anomaly and something else. Wow. How did I guess? Pattern recognition is a great trait to have. It's what allows us to identify what food is safe to eat, what to pray to, who are of the enemy clan, and work from there, or what two champions they're going to pick first in live arena. And then, now the thing about Hilvy is, if I try to use the buff strip here, I will just give them the block damage instead. However, I'm not someone who listens particularly well, so we're going to just take Hilvy and Carnage? Yeah, I think Carnage is good here, actually. We're buying Marias like we always are because of his matchup into Hilvy in general. Taras Marichka. Okay, that is fine. Let's get rid of you, or get him to Marichka. No, let's get him Marias. A bit more confident doing this way. Also noting, Pray to Hunter's Gaze will mean I go right through Taras passive, but it does not go through Star Sage passive because that is a death replacement effect instead of a damage reduction effect. The same is true for Nace passive, but anything like Siegfried, Taras, Cheshire Cat, etc., it will go through those. Okay, so sure, that's going to happen, but okay, cleanse. No, he's going to alt form. I disagree with that one. Unless you're about to, nope, dodge. Now this anomaly might be vulnerable. You can't HP swap in Hilvy, that doesn't work. Try it. Try it, go on. Yep, he tried it. And I just about live. And now let's spread the big stupid onto your team. There you go. Everyone is now stuck. They are so stuck they don't know how stuck they are. Alright, how are we doing this? You know what? Let's just get rid of you. And you are not getting your team back because I have spread the big stupid onto your team. And goodbye, Mr. Taras. You may stand with Ukraine, however, I stand with 2026 game balancing, so okay. yeah, that's us done for the session. Win, 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 win. That's all I do apart from when I lose. Technically it was 9 games, not 10, because first opponent knew what was happening and wanted no part in it, but past that, here was... What happened here again? Oh, I got locked out from the 0-star Crixia. It was probably a 3%, and even then she had 2 not weak hits. And this one was... again, I think... Oh, my mistake was not permadeathing the Arbiter R-base with prior to A3. So I'll claim my box. My box has little bits in it. And again, for those who like builds, this season I'll show you, because why not? So first off, my anomaly is this. 4-piece Stones King, 4-piece Lethal. Kind of boring. Carnage is, again, very similar. I could build support Carnage at some point, which is pretty popular nowadays, just high accuracy, high speed, mercurial, but no. Nace is 4 feral things. I want more HP and less crit damage if I can, but it's hard to wait as such. And I've got to wait for when I start getting much of lethal pieces from this month's Doom Tower, because, you know, it's third rotation, aka the good one. XDD is, same as before, very fast, 4-piece lethal, 4-piece. This is like feral. Who else did I pick? Praetor, as mentioned, 6-piece merciless, 2-piece reaction, wand. Raglin, 9-piece merciless. I mean mercurial. These are not particularly great. Hilvy isn't even max level to give him a false sense of security. Her build is decent enough, I'd say. I would like HP instead of defense here, because defense is kind of useless, but who else did I pick? Did I pick anyone else at all, or did I just literally go the same champions over and over? I think it was just those, wasn't it? Also, if you want to see the rolls on Praetor's gear, then here you go. Record it, lab whatever you want, who cares, I am not that important, and honestly, it's not the best gear in the world, it's not the worst. This is intentional because you need accuracy for his A3 Hunter's Gaze anytime you don't have Veil on him. And rest is kind of like that. This is okay. I could do with changing that, but I'm lazy. And yeah. If this is even dimly interesting to anyone, I'll do more like this. Otherwise, I might take the laser way out again. Anyway, that's basically me done for now. Tomorrow I might have something different for you, and not something that you'd expect. But yeah, if you see ya.